Hey guys, what's up? I hope we are doing good today. So in today's video I have a foundation review, and this one is on the Smashbox Studio Skin Shaping Foundation, and this is the way that the product looks. I did do a first impression on it, like a try on, but I wasn't able to finish the video that day, so I'm not going to do a first impression. I kind of already know how it looks. This foundation also has a contouring side, so that's why it's called a shaping foundation. You do get the foundation on one end. This is how much foundation you get. Hopefully I can put it back down, but that's pretty much it. And this is $42. This product is $42. So that's how much foundation you get right there, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I have seen other foundation sticks. I know that foundation sticks do have less product, and then this is all you get for the contouring side. I did want to point that out, that that's all you get in this product. Okay, so I did look for it on the box. I thought I had read it on the box, but no, I had read it online. And online it does say that it doesn't fill in, or it doesn't, what is the word that it uses here? It doesn't settle in to your pores or your fine lines. So that's why I'm not going to try it with a pore filling primer today. I am going to use a moisturizer like I always do. And then I'm going to try one side with the beauty blender and one side with the brush, so you can see the difference. And this one does say that it is for all skin types. So whether you have sensitive, normal, dry, and oily skin. And it does have a natural finish. So it's not going to be too dewy and it's not going to be too matte. It's kind of going to be in between. And they do have 16 shades of this. I feel like I got a pretty good shade. I think it worked out for me. I did buy it online, so you do have to like check for swatches on other websites or on Google. Like all I do is Google Smashbox foundation stick, and then it'll give you swatches. Make sure that it's this foundation though, and it'll give you swatches that people have swatched themselves who have like the entire line, and then you can kind of see which shade you would be. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I got it in the color 2.1. Go ahead and apply my moisturizer first. I'm gonna use the Derma E Vitamin C moisturizer that I use all the time. What I like to do is apply a little bit of mist, or a little bit of makeup mist. Yeah, this is just a vitamin makeup mist, and what I like to do is apply it on my beauty blender. Sometimes I apply it straight to my face, but I have found that it's easier with just the beauty blender side. And that's how I apply my makeup every single time I do my makeup, except for putting on a primer. So all I'm gonna do is apply just like this. And it is a very soft a very soft feeling foundation. I think the color that I got matched me pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it a little bit on my under eye so we can see how much it actually covers up, or so you can see how much it actually covers up. And then I'm going to do one side with the beauty blender. So the thing that I found with the beauty blender side is that it doesn't really blend it out. Like you can still see, maybe you can, but I can still see where I drew the line even after going over it, so I'm gonna keep going. And I also feel like it picks up a lot of the product. So applying it with the beauty blender is actually not my favorite way. Usually I do love using the beauty blender for my foundations, but not with this one. I feel like it doesn't give me coverage, and it kind of looks exactly the same. Like it pretty much did nothing. It didn't cover up any redness or purpliness that I have on my under eyes. It didn't cover up redness that I have here, and I especially have redness like around my cheeks, and that's where I always need a little bit more coverage. Like I said, it pretty much looks the same. I feel like maybe the beauty blender picks up a lot of the product. So now I'm going to show you the way that it looks with the foundation. And the foundation brush that I'm going to use is this orange one by Real Techniques, and this one is a buffing brush. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And what's great about my face, great and not so great, because who wants to have redness, right? But what's great about it is that I do have redness on both sides, like the equal amount of redness on both sides of my nose. And I can already tell the difference of how much it covered up on this side and how little it covered up on this side. And I am applying it on my neck too, but you can tell that it matched me perfectly, so there's not like a big difference in color or anything. My husband's exercising with the dogs, so he's coming in and out and stuff. But anyways, I finished all the bottom part, so now I'm just gonna do my forehead, which I also have redness around my forehead. So this is the brush side, and you can tell that it doesn't give me a lot of coverage. So I would even think it's more like a low to medium coverage. It says medium buildable coverage. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to build it up just a little bit more, because I don't know, I just feel like I can still see pretty much everything. It looks like I'm not really wearing much. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. I'm gonna put a little bit more the same way, and then I'm gonna blend it out. Foundation is done on both sides, and it pretty much looks the same. I would say it builds up maybe a little bit, but it doesn't do a build to where you go from medium to full. I would say it just goes like medium to a little bit more. It's not really a big difference whenever you build it up, and I don't want to try to make it full coverage if that's not what it is. I don't have a problem with it being medium coverage. I'm just letting you know to not expect it to build up into a full coverage if that's something that you would want to do, maybe to go out or something like that when you don't want a full face of makeup. So now what I'm going to do is apply the contouring side. You're going to notice that it is a dark contouring shade. Let me go ahead and show you. So there you can see that it is pretty dark. Okay, so you can see that it looks pretty dark and kind of look like I drew Frankenstein lines. But it does blend out really easily, and it kind of just like shears out. I don't know if you've ever used a product that looks really dark but just shears out in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's not like exactly blending, but it's more like shearing away. That's how I feel about this contour side. I guess that's why, and I guess the reason why it's like that, it's because it's more of a natural look. So I don't know about you, but I can barely see it. It's like tiny, you know, like emoji. It's just like you can barely see it. It's still there, so I guess that's what they mean by natural. But to me, natural doesn't mean not there at all. It's like you still kind of want it. I feel like if I were to put powder and not put contouring powder, that's gonna like pretty much be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the way that it looks with the brush side. You can tell that you can still see the contour on this side, so I would really recommend use a brush for this foundation, just because I'm not seeing much coverage or much of anything, not even the contour with the Beauty Blender side. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my makeup, and then I'll be back. I was already starting on my eyebrows because I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, but I wanted to show you the time. So right now it is 1:05, and that way you know what time I'm starting the application, like what time I finished the foundation application. So it is 1:05. Before I set the foundation, I did want to show you close up, because I can still see a lot of everything pretty much. I can still see my skin underneath the foundation. I just don't find that it has a lot of coverage. I can see the redness right here around my nose. I can still see it on both sides, and I can also see it on my cheek area. And you did see that I applied it very close to my under eye, so that way I can see how much coverage it has. And I can still see where my pores are. It's not like little bitty dots, but I can still tell that they're there. So it's not like it blurred them out, it didn't smooth them out. It just simply doesn't sink into those areas. So I just wanted to give you a little close-up, show you the way that it looks, and so that way you can see for yourself. And I don't know if it's like my dry skin, but I do have a tiny bit of patchiness. Like I can tell that some spots have more foundation than others. Now it could be the blending, but I always use the Beauty Blender the same way. And if I keep using it, then I'm just going to be picking up more product. I see it mainly on this side more than I see it on this side. So just keep that in mind, that it does make a difference with what you apply it with. Okay, so I'm back, and it has been a little while. It is now 5:57, and you saw that I applied it around 1. There you go, 5:57. You can kind of see it whenever it's dimming. So it is 5:57 now. It's been a few hours. I'm not going to leave it on till like the end of the day. I am going to show you a before with and without flash. I always say before and after, but I'm going to show you with and without flash, so that way you can see the difference with it. I do have to say that I feel like it is true to what it says. It is a very natural looking foundation, and I don't really feel like it's a medium coverage. I feel like it's more of a light to medium, like super natural, just because it doesn't really give me any coverage. And I don't feel like my redness is too severe, like it's not so bad to where I need that coverage. But if you are someone who does, I don't think the foundation will do that for you. I feel like if I build it up with the Beauty Blender side, it kind of picks up the product, so I guess it's because the Beauty Blender is damp. But with the brush side, it does do a little bit better, but it kind of doesn't really cover a lot still. I do think it is a very natural foundation, natural looking. It doesn't have an entirely matte finish or a really dewy finish. I feel like it's like kind of in the middle. I also think it's a very good foundation for like a beginner or someone who's barely getting into makeup. Like if you're 15, 16, I don't know when people start wearing makeup now, but once you get into the age of wanting to wear makeup, I think this is a good foundation for someone like that because it is really easy to apply. You don't need to know how many pumps you're gonna need or you're gonna apply too much. You just kind of draw it on and start blending it out, and it is a very light coverage. And then if you want some contouring, well, you have that side too. Now another negative thing is that the contouring side is like tiny, like you don't get a lot from it. So I think you get a lot more here than you do from the KKW, right? That was shade. That was just shade. So I will be reusing it. I do like it enough to keep using it. It's not like a product like, oh my god, I hate it, I have to return it. But just speaking the truth, it's very natural. It doesn't move around. It didn't move around. My makeup didn't move around. It's not sliding around everywhere. It looks really nice. Like you can see that it looks really nice. It's just close up. I can still see like redness right here, and like right here on my cheek is where I usually get that redness. I also have some redness on my forehead, but it's not so obvious. So on a day that I just want you know, a little coverage, or I want like an everyday look, which I do a lot, this foundation would be perfect for that. And like I said earlier, it does say that it is for all skin types, but me speaking personally on my very dry skin, I don't think it's that great for dry skin. I guess you would have to try it out for yourself. We all have like a different level of dry skin. I feel like if I hadn't used a moisturizer right before applying my makeup, and if I hadn't used the mist, it would have been a lot harder for me to blend out. Maybe what didn't work for me, maybe will work for you if you have dry skin too, but it wasn't like my favorite and it wasn't like the worst. It was just kind of in the middle. So it's not like a must have. It's not like a foundation that, oh my god, you should get it, you should definitely try it out. No, it's just kind of like if you're looking for a very natural type of foundation, then maybe you will like this. I hope you found today's foundation review helpful. I know it wasn't like my favorite foundation, but it also wasn't the worst. It's just kind of like in between, you know? So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I do quite a few foundation reviews. So if you're interested in that, I will have the playlist listed below. Maybe I have a foundation review that you may be interested in. So yeah, I have that listed below, and I'll also have it at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see here on my channel and you want to see more of me. That is it for today. I will see you all on my next one. Bye.